Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Rip Griffin Show with Cooter and I. Today's episode, we're going to talk about a little bit about everything. And if you're listening on either on through the podcast or actually on YouTube, so be sure to send us a comment, question, or concern. Let us know how we're doing. So with that, Cooter, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. Do you know what episode number this is?
30?
Yes, number 30. It's a big
30.
milestone in just a short matter of time. So I'm excited. I've 30 episodes in of the Rip Griffin Show. Started this thing back in February, pre-COVID-19. Now we're in COVID-19. Hopefully we'll be out of it soon. But now it's exciting. 30 episodes. I'm excited. I'm happy.
Hell yeah, you should be, man. You're doing a great job with your show.
I appreciate it. Yeah, having you on is definitely a bonus for us. That way we get to get a little bit different content for the listeners and kind of talk a little bit of everything, baseball and some others, football and whatnot in between. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how was your 4th of July?
It was all right. I had to work. I didn't get to celebrate if I want to, like most people.
I don't think hardly anybody, honestly, was able to celebrate. We didn't even do fireworks here in town. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. A couple people maybe might have threw like a small party or whatnot. But other than that, I mean, there was no firework display that the city put on. So it was kind of a bummer, actually.
That's unfortunate, man.
Yeah. Given everything that's going on, it's kind of one of those things that we kind of just have to roll with it for a little bit longer, just kind of be patient. But, I think they're going to postpone it is what they're going to do. So
on the 4th of July, fireworks?
Yeah. I think
to what?
I guess to whenever the state says, okay, now you can have gatherings of a large amount of people. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
I'm going to keep this PG-13. I'm not going to cuss as much as I did last year. you can't postpone it Independence Day.
Right? No. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll have some fireworks soon. But
sure.
Yeah. But the big thing on 4th of July is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Joey per chestnut, dude.
Jaws.
Jaws.
Done
up.
It's kind of one of those little different way of leading into the show, but we're going to start off with the hot dog eating contest. I like hot dogs. I really do. You do a little bit of mustard, some chili, but
a little bit of relish.
Yeah, you can do that too. Kind of do it, kind of give it a different twist. But how many did he have? He ate 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's
13-time hot dog champion.
That's insane.
Ralph Nadal won 12 French Opens. Margaret Cordell's won 11 Australian Opens. Bill Russell has won 11 NBA titles. And Henry Richard won 11 Stanley Cups. He is by far the most decorated athlete on the planet.
better than Tom Brady.
Hey, by double that, yeah.
That's insane. 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
He drank 12 pints of beer in 67 seconds.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can you imagine the beer that he drank and then having all that bread just swell up?
Oh, dude.
What goes on? I don't know how. I'm sure it's probably disgusting, but what goes on after that?
Well, you're eating that many hot dogs. I'm sure the porcelain is going to take a beating. And if you're drinking 12 pints of beer in less than a minute, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a pretty big hangover the next day.
Man,
you got to be a stuffed human to do that. Training your stomach. I mean, come on now.
There's a technique that I'm not going to try to attempt, but he's figured it out to where you can eat 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes, and
good for him.
Yeah. So No, we'll just let him have all the glory on this day.
I'd rather have 2 hot dogs in like an hour.
Yeah, 3 is
Maybe.
like my max.
Yeah.
So he gets the award for most decorated athlete on July 4th weekend.
By far.
Oh
By
man,
far.
kind of an unusual way
He's
to
got
start.
his own hot sauce brand too.
Really
He does. Yeah.
interesting. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
May try it with just eating 1 or 2 hot dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, let's talk about the big thing that happened just a couple of days ago. The most richest athlete that has ever played professional sports across all the major leagues is my man Patty Mahomes. I'm a Patty Mahomes fan now.
Are you? You jumping
Yeah,
that bandwagon, huh?
I'm gonna jump on that. Normally, when it comes to football and NFL, I'm usually I'll be honest, I'm a bandwagon kind of guy. I'll jump on,
He's a Texas boy. It's all right.
oh yeah, he is. So I think that's where a lot of that bandwagon is going to come from. I can't talk tonight for some reason, but he got the most ridiculous, insane, crazy, whatever adjective you want to put into this contract. 10 years, total comes out to $502 million.
503.
Okay, I did not round up.
And it's technically 12 years because he's still in his 2-year rookie contract.
Yes. Okay, so this won't kick in until the 2021 season.
Right.
So he gets we kind of showed our notes to each other, and we kind of had the same breakdown of his salary and all of his bonuses. So just to kind of give you a little perspective, his base salary for this season is going to be $825,000.
Right.
So he got a $10 million signing bonus. So it brings out his contract for this year, $10,825,000. Then that's when everything kicks into place for the 2021 season. So he has a base salary of $990,000, but his roster bonus, $21 million. And
yeah, that's if he stays healthy.
Right. But let's say there's some other stipulations in that contract. Say MVP, another Super Bowl MVP. That's where that bonus is going to come from. If he doesn't get any of that, he still gets a $100,000 bonus.
Sure.
Which, I mean, is ridiculous. And then it just goes up exponentially until 2031, where his base salary on this is going to be $38 million. That's his base salary. Is that not flipping insane?
I think he could be potentially the first $1 billion player to ever play the game.
You think so? You think?
I mean, how old is he? 22, 21, 20?
No, he'll 23? Be 25, I think I heard in September.
Okay, so 10 years, he's 35. I mean, we got quarterbacks that are 38, 39, 40 years old. He could potentially sign a new contract or restructure a contract or renegotiate a new contract. He can definitely by far be the first $1 billion NFL player ever.
Isn't that insane?
It's wild, man.
It's unprecedented you've got Mike Trout, who's arguably the best player in baseball, making $426 million, I think.
He is by far the best player in baseball.
And and then you go down from there. You've got Garrett Cole, who signed that $324 million contract, and then Bryce Harper, Manny Machado. Those are your top, $300, $400 million guys, and he's making more than all those guys.
Well, is he though? Because 63 million of Mahomes' contract is guaranteed upon signing. 141 million is guaranteed if he stays healthy. If you're going to compare it to Garrett Cole or Mike Trout, how much of theirs is guaranteed? Pretty much all of it, isn't it?
All of it, pretty much. I think I have to go back and look to see what Garrett Cole got as far as his contract, his guaranteed contract. 10 years is a long time. Well, then Bryce Harper's contract is for what, 13 years? That's a long time for that kind of stuff to.
And all of his is guaranteed.
Yeah, that's insane. It's just I'm in awe of Patty Mahomes, and I mean the
I
guy that
don't see how they're going to be able to afford to pay everybody.
that's the thing. They have Travis Kelce. They got him locked up for a long term. They the whiteout. His name is
Tyreek Hill needs to get paid.
um who's the guy that the whiteout? They locked a
Tyreek
whiteout.
Hill.
Is it Tyreek Hill?
No, well, as far as like lockdown,
Yeah, like I thought I heard
was it Sammy Coates? It wasn't Sammy Coates. Watkins. No, he's Watkins.
Sammy Watkins. No, it's not Watkins because he kind of had a down year before he came to Kansas City, and now with Mahomes, they've kind of his stats have kind of increased a little bit, so his productivity's gone up from there. But gosh, I heard something just the other day that they locked a receiver up as well. That was supposed to be long term. I'll have to go back and look that up too.
I have to look that up too, man. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, I had the name and then it just completely escaped me. So, but yeah, I mean, $503 million.
$500 million.
I mean, that's just, and you look back at Mahomes, and he's the fastest player to have a MVP, a league MVP, and a Super Bowl MVP, all in the span of 3 years he's been in the league.
Yeah, I mean, for those titles to be combined, yes, he is the fastest. Yeah.
So technically, I'd say he's earned it.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to pay you what you're worth.
Exactly. And I just hope that he's able to not let this go to his head, and still be able to play.
A stigma when you start paying these players, they kind of just get relaxed.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately that's what tends to happen.
That's the thing that kind of worries me a little bit, is if he starts to kind of decline and the Chiefs are going back and wondering, well, did we really make the right choice in signing him to all this money? I think my prediction is this, that come say 4 or 5 years, they're probably going to have to go back and restructure this contract.
Oh, it's inevitable.
I think it happens with every athlete who signs a contract of this magnitude. I think Bryce Harper can opt out after like 5 years, right? Or he can restructure after 5 years. So I think we're going to see that happen, and I think in 5 years he's looks like his base salary will be, it's in 2025,
2.59 million.
Yeah. Roster bonus of 38.9 million. So I think we may see that restructured, because they're going to probably have to do some roster rebuilding, depending on, Travis Kelce and Sammy Watkins and who's the
Cheetah. Tyreek Hill, man, that dude's a playmaker. They're not going to be able to keep everybody. They're going to have to restructure somebody. I am sold on Mahomes. I think he can do it. I think obviously he's a face of the NFL right now because of his contract and being the Super Bowl MVP and whatnot. Let's see what he can do when he doesn't have your Kelce's, your Hills, your Watkins,
and have on defense, Tyrann Mathieu, guys like that can
Honey Badger.
Yeah, the Honey Badger. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's unprecedented in our day in sports.
What does this do to like someone like Baker Mayfield or someone like Dak Prescott or someone like Lamar Jackson?
I think with Lamar Jackson, he's kind of still under that balloon of that rookie contract. So I think he may have another couple years. But I mean, Dak, who's kind of been in the league for what, 4 or 5 years now. I may be kind of stretching a little bit, but he's one that will probably be wanting something pretty close.
Does he deserve it though? I mean, that's what I'm saying is Mahomes, that pay scale put him up here. So now you have all these other quarterbacks. Okay, well, gosh, I'm just as good as he is, but I didn't win a Super Bowl. I'm not MVP, so maybe that's what I can get. I mean, it's a business too.
Oh, absolutely.
And I get if anybody that deserves something like that, my personal opinion would be Lamar Jackson if he can produce for the next 3-4 years.
I think if Lamar Jackson can go out and win a Super Bowl within the next year or two, we'll see him right up there with Mahomes. Now, Dak,
100.
Now, Dak, I don't see that happening because there's so much instability within the organization. I mean, Jerry's not going to pay him $504 million to.
No, he's about to drill oil wells in East Texas, man. He can afford that.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't want to pay that though. So I don't see Dak getting any sort of mega contract when he's with the Cowboys. Even if he goes out and becomes a free agent, I don't see Dak getting that money.
No, he ain't gonna get that. No way.
No, I think in order for that to happen, Dak is going to need to win a Super Bowl now. And then, of course, I mean,
at least go deep in the playoffs. I mean,
yeah, let's get past the divisional round, and then we'll go from there. But I mean, I want to see Dak do well, but I think the Cowboys need to kind of do something to put some more pieces around him. There's even talk of, I think I saw that Des Bryant wants to come back to the Cowboys.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. He put out a tweet the other day saying it's something along the lines that he's ready to go, that he wants, Jerry to give him another shot. But I think that ship might have already come and sailed.
I see him being a Seahawk.
I think so too. I think he'll fit well with Russell Wilson and that Pete Carroll offense. I was kind of hoping he would kind of break through with New Orleans with the Saints, but then he got hurt.
He had such a good opportunity there until he blew his Achilles.
Yeah.
I like Dez, man. He's a good athlete.
I saw him play in college. We went to a game in Texas at Austin. It was Oklahoma State and Texas. And it was the year that Texas was number 1. And they went to the national championship later that season. But Dez he's a beast. I mean, you could not bring him down.
He's a massive human, dude. He's
huge. I want to say he played because we went to a Cowboys game too about 5 years ago, and I want to say he was on the field then too. So I may have saw him in college and in professional as well. But the dude is huge. The dude can get behind the secondary like nothing. But hopefully good things will happen for him in the future. Maybe, like you said, with Seattle. So rocking my Mariners hat tonight. If you're just watching on the YouTube channel, kind of doing some different representation. But yeah, Patty Mahomes, man, you're $500 million man. So
good for him, man. He earned every penny of it. We'll see if he can live up to his contract.
Exactly. I think
it's called tell the tape.
Right?
Tell the tape. Let's see what happens.
Oh man, it's all right. We're gonna change the gears a little bit. Talk a little baseball. And we've got about 2 weeks now till opening weekend, and we've got some
I know the Rangers start July 24th against the Rockies.
Yep. The Astros open up against Seattle, actually.
Did you see that picture I sent you with Trevor Bauer Power Hour?
Oh, man.
Dude, he's all in about that.
Man, you know what? I tell you, I still want to get him on the show because I still want to pick his brain because he's actually a very knowledgeable person when it comes to the negotiations and the labor agreements and whatnot. So I still want to get him on the show if he's listening. Hey Trevor, come on. But the shirt, I'm trying to be.
I couldn't help but giggle.
I'm trying to be objective here and try not to show my bias, but sometimes it will come out on the show and I'm sorry, but the shirt, you're in a season that's going to be with no fans, so I guess you got to try to talk trash as much as you can, but I don't know. I'm going to digress from this topic.
It's all in good fun. Hey, he's the only pitcher I ever seen throw it from home or from the pitcher mountain to the center field over the wall. Did you see him do that last year?
Yeah, that video is starting to circulate again on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he wore that shirt and then it kind of just snowballed from there. But I mean, that's what 320 feet at least.
Shit.
I mean,
yeah.
if you figure
yeah. At least. Not to mention the height of the fence. I mean, you got to throw a little farther than that too to get it over.
Did you see in the video the center fielder? He's looking up at the monitor, right? And so he's just got his head up and he's got his back to the mound, and he sees Trevor throw the ball and everything, and then he kind of like does like this. Oh, he kind of squirms a little bit. And I think there's one guy too that I think one of the infielders thought the ball was going to be thrown to him, so he kind of like duck. But I mean, that's some pretty good arm strength for Mr. Bauer.
Shit.
But anyway, speaking of Cleveland Indians, there's been a lot of controversy with their name change over not this season, but the past couple seasons. They did away with the Chief Oahu on the hats, went straight to just the C. Now they're actually in talks about actually changing their name, and they've thrown out a couple of names that possibly they might go with. I think the most popular one right now is the Cleveland Spiders, which they actually used to be the Spiders back in 1889 to 1899. And I think then I think they switched to the Indians after that. The Blue Sox, because we've got a red sock and a white sock, might as well go with the Blue Sox.
That's garbage. That's trash.
The Naps, the Cleveland Naps. Like naps, like you take a nap.
No, that's garbage too.
The Guardians. I don't know about that one. This one's kind of cool. The Rockers. I think because it pays an homage to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is actually in Cleveland.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that one's kind of cool. I get that one. And then, of course, the Buckeyes, the Cleveland Buckeyes, because you can't
Ohio. You got the Ohio Buckeyes. You can't.
Yeah, you can't have Ohio, Ohio State Buckeyes and Cleveland Buckeyes. So I know it's a state symbol and everything, but the Spiders.
Dude, you're gonna start changing these names of these teams. You're gonna open up Pandora's box. Because where does it stop?
It won't stop.
You have the Indians. You have the Braves. You have the Saints. Redskins.
Yeah.
Chiefs. Cowboys. Texas Rangers have already been told to change their name because cops.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean it's Buccaneers. I mean the Pirates. The Pirates in baseball. I mean where does it end?
It seems almost. I guess the word would be petty. That everything that's going on socially, that we have to be, you know, it's all, I don't know, it's such a touchy subject because,
Sure it is. Yeah.
but I mean, the name is just the name. It's the logo. It's a reference that people can not really, what's the word? I
The
don't know.
Redskins have been around for a long time. There's a
Yeah.
Navajo Indian that designed the logo. A
Yeah.
Navajo Indian designed the logo.
Which tells you something that
You're paying homage to a cult, to a race, to a culture. I don't know if that's the right word, but
it's
I don't
almost,
know. It's touchy.
it is. It really is, because this is a lot of these names are part of our culture that
Sure.
our country was founded on. I'm sure that I know there was a lot of things historically that were terrible, but I mean, it is part of our history. It is part of our culture. You know, changing the names of anything isn't going to do any good, because I mean, you can still go back and say, well, hey, the Cleveland Indians of 1908. It's you can still reference that previous
Exactly.
era.
You're not going to be able to erase it.
No, it's not going to go away. It's still going to be in the record books. I mean, unless they're going to go back and doctor history.
That's kind of communist to me, but
Yes.
that's neither here nor there.
So I don't know. I personally I think they did fine by changing the logo to just a C and getting rid of the Chief of Wahoo. I think that should be enough, honestly. Um, having the team completely rechange their name. I mean, that's their brand. I mean, when you look at it, you got to look at the cost factor. All of your merchandise. I mean, you're going to lose lots of revenue on merchandise that you've already had made up. Any type of affiliates, whether it be stationary, office stuff, stuff that
Dan Snyder's already getting pressured with the
yes,
Redskins, the owner. I mean, Nike's pulled all their merchandise.
FedEx too, yeah.
FedEx which is the 40. Fred Smith is one of the 3 minority owners of the Redskins, and he is the CEO of FedEx.
Right.
They're already getting ready to pull if you don't change your name. How are you going to change your name within 3 weeks of a season that's about to start? I mean,
that's a massive rebranding that it won't be done.
I don't see how it can happen.
No.
If it happens, great. If it doesn't,
no,
you're gonna bitch about it.
It won't happen. Honestly, I think it's unfortunate that these minority owners want to step away, but they pretty much went on the record and said they're not happy being a partner with Dan Snyder. And Dan Snyder,
he's also been on paper one of the hardest persons to work with.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the Redskins have been pressured, actually, to change their name for years. I want to say maybe 10 years, maybe more, for as long as I can remember. But and still, he's gone on the record saying that they're never going to change that name. And now it's kind of they're starting to talk about it, and I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they change it, or do you think they don't?
Dan Snyder's a good businessman. He didn't get to this point, but somehow he's still putting butts in those seats, and that is a garbage fire of an organization.
It really is.
And his brand getting pulled off of Nike, FedEx pulling out. I see him maybe, kneeling down and changing their name. But what do you change it to? I just don't know. I don't want them to get rid of the logo, man. It's iconic. I mean, that's an original. It's original team. You don't.
No,
that's up there with the Cowboys. That's up there with the Steelers. I mean, that is an original name. What are you going to call them?
I think I heard one show, might have been Pat McAfee actually, that said just call him just Washington.
Yeah.
Just Washington. Just call him just Washington because nobody can has any recollection of what their actual name is. Yeah. But I mean, just Washington. But I mean, you can't really call them. Well, you could call them the Washington Senators. Bring back. Back old Shane Flacco.
Yeah.
Falco.
Shane Falco.
Dude,
that'd be a good one.
That would be a good one. I mean, it kind of ties into the Washington.
The XFL had a pretty good name, the DC Defenders, but I mean,
oh yeah,
who knows? You can take that. I mean, they're in bankruptcy. Who knows?
I like how these startup leagues try to compete with the NFL, but yet they keep.
I think the XFL is doing pretty good, but this COVID just kind of ruined everybody's plans.
Yeah, that is true. You have to give them some credit because they did spend a lot of time, going through the proper steps of building the league and making it successful. What's his name? Luck.
Andrew Luck's dad.
Yeah. I forget his name. I'm forgetting everything tonight. But I mean, he's the commissioner, so he kind of built that organization up from the ground up. So I think they did great. They implemented a lot of new cool rules to kind of differentiate the two between NFL and XFL. But I think they're actually going to come back next spring. I think they're going to give it another shot. Yeah,
they should, man. It was a pretty good show to watch.
I
wish the NFL would adopt their kickoff.
Like get rid of it completely?
No. What the XFL did, you line up, you got your ball on the 50, you got everybody 10 yards off the ball. You kick it off, you can't move. The guys on the line, you don't move until the runner touches it.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty. Yeah, I think it was great.
That's a good safety feature to kind of protect the players a little bit.
Yeah, you get some turn yards. I mean, you get something out of it.
Yeah. See, I wish the NFL would do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And try to. I mean, you can still keep the integrity of the game and how it's played, but
you can't get rid of the special teams, man. Because I mean, you're putting a lot of people out of fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Sorry, F word. Putting people out of their jobs. I did good, dude. We've been on this for like over 40 minutes. That is my first F-bomb. Sorry.
Yeah, hey, that's impressive. That is impressive. But no, it's all good. But I wish the NFL would do something like that. Kind of similar to, I mean, Major League Baseball. Kind of change up the way the game is have some creativity because fan interaction is key to watching any game. Basketball, I mean, the NBA is probably one of the best when it comes to marketing. Their brand. So I kind of wish the NFL would do something like that. Just get creative, have fun.
What do you think about the MLB being mic'd up? I think that'd be great for the game.
That would be awesome.
Especially for the people that are sitting at home watching the game.
Because I always wonder what they're talking about, when they're yelling to each other across the field and whatnot. It'd be fun to hear what they're saying, how they interact with each other. So right. I think they do it for the All-Star game, and it gets great reviews. So let's do it throughout the whole season. Have some more interaction.
Put a mic on that pitcher like Verlander. Let's see how much shit he's going to be talking to about 6-7 innings.
Exactly. So creativity is what we're talking about. Commissioners of all the leagues, if you're listening, get creative. Come on.
Besides Manfred, you're done. Dude, I still don't like the guy. I'm not going to until he's out of time.
Oh man. So yeah, the Washington Redskins, I hope they're able to kind of eliminate the backlash a little bit, but I don't know, do you give in and say, you know what, we're going to change our name? Just
I haven't talked to very many Indians. I don't know very many.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I mean, I don't think anybody really actually does. I don't know how offensive it is. I just think it's a topic of discussion because of the social issues we're dealing with. But as a business owner, I wouldn't give in. But when you're having your brand stripped from Nike, like we talked about, and you're one of your major, donors as far as FedEx goes, that's your name of your stadium.
Right.
That's a business decision. And with COVID going the way it is, you're already losing revenue. I mean, you're kind of putting a stranglehold there.
Right.
I mean, which sucks, but I don't know. I've never been the type of person to fold under pressure like that, but it's 2020, man. Here we are.
Exactly. So here's the thing. If Nike is cutting ties with the Redskins, isn't Nike the jersey maker for the NFL?
I believe so.
So,
well, they can always go get their own sponsor. I mean, Adidas can make their jerseys. Under Armour, Jordan can even do it. I mean, it depends on who wants that contract or not. But as the sole heir of NFL, yeah, it's Nike.
That's interesting. To be the only team in the league that does not have their uniforms made by Nike.
It's not uncommon.
But what would that do to the NFL's revenue? Because if the NFL has a contract with Nike and all teams have to wear Nike apparel, there's got to be some sort of legality behind.
They're just going to add another rep to their. I mean, they're just going to add another rep like Adidas.
Interesting. But see, that might have a domino effect now, because if you add another rep to your uniforms and your merchandise, other teams may want to try to explore that as well.
Yeah.
So now you've got essentially
cheaper because they're looking for someone to market their merchandise.
See,
so you're going to have other teams look into, okay, well, we can go to Adidas a little cheaper.
So see, we're diving into something a little bit deeper now that I just thought of that could bring some controversy in the way merchandise is made throughout the league. It's very interesting. Look at us.
Dude, this whole year is going to be controversial. Think about this whole COVID testing thing. Say you're a head coach for UT. You're a head football coach. And we're kind of getting off topic here, but
that's fine.
You test positive. You're a head coach. You're a defensive coordinator. He tests positive. Your offensive coordinator tests positive. Then your special team coach tests positive. Not necessarily in the same time, but within a week span. The NCAA only has 10 coaches. Who in the hell is going to be coaching that football team? Because you got to quarantine for 14 days.
Right. It's interesting
for the NFL.
It's interesting how this is, especially with football coming up. It's going to be interesting how college football and the NFL, the protocols they're going to have to take now, because clearly the wearing of the mask is something that's going to be probably required. But when you have, sports like football that is the contact is so close together that the spreading of COVID-19 is probably going to increase. So what is the protocol is going to be do we, you know what, I'm kind of go back to your question. I think that the NCAA is probably going to, or say, like, if I'm the coach, I would probably have to shut down practice completely. Now that kind of,
say a player gets it, he's got to quarantine for 12 or 14 days. So he's out of football shape for 14 days. He's going to at least another week to get back into football shape. So he's technically out for 3 weeks.
right.
That goes
And,
for the pros too.
and then if somebody steps up and fills that position and, does a pretty good job during that other player's absence, does that player that got sick, it's not his fault. What does that do to his psyche? Does he just opt out and say, I'm not going to play the rest of this year? Or, well, we don't know what they're thinking, but I think we're going to see, especially, with baseball, we've got a lot of guys that have opted out already. We'll see the same thing probably in football as well, is we're going to see guys that are going to opt out primarily because of safety.
Sure. Well, most of these guys are opting out, have families, have kids at home.
Yeah.
You're not going to see your young guys opting out because they don't. Let's be real here. They're going home to themselves. But your veterans or some that do have wives and kids, they will be thinking more rational.
Yes. Yeah. So it's interesting to how this is all going to play out, especially with football coming up. I think if we start to see coaches, multiple coaches catch this virus, I think we're going to see just a massive shutdown. I don't want to kind of speculate right now, but it might be similar to what happened with, college baseball and the NCAA tournament and men's and women's basketball completely shutting down. I don't want to speculate that yet, but it's something we still need to keep in the back of our minds because it's possible it could very well happen.
Yeah, there's no telling what's going to happen, dude. This year is. I wouldn't be surprised if aliens came next month and then Godzilla next month. Who knows? 2020, bro.
What's that term? FUBAR.
Yeah.
This year's FUBAR. But
100%.
Speaking of guys that have opted out, especially in baseball, so we kind of touched on this, I believe, the last episode. Mike Leake from Arizona, Nick Markakis and Felix Hernandez from Atlanta have opted out. Ian Desmond, I think the most notable right now. Ryan Zimmerman, Joe Ross from Washington, also Wellington Castillo. But the most notable right now is David Price. He just got traded over.
He's at the Dodgers, isn't he?
Yeah, he just got traded from Boston to Los Angeles Dodgers. And he came out on social media and said that, with everything going on right now, to protect himself and his family, he's going to opt out this season. So he'll be in a Dodger uniform in 2021. So Dodger fans won't be able to see him pitch. But I think we're going to start to see more and more guys opt out. The most notable right now that is in question is Mike Trout. Will Mike Trout opt out?
Why would we even be speculating that?
Well, because he's got a baby on the way. So I think it's his first. So he says a couple weeks ago, he said he wanted to play the whole, tell us when and where. And now he's saying that he's not quite sure if he wants to play, because I think a lot of this is just my own opinion that with the recent testing that has gone on, they did the whole intake testing last week where they tested all the players. And
God, dude, are you scared about that test? Have you seen that thing?
It's brutal.
It's like that long, dude. You're driving your white matter in your brain.
Yeah, no, it's nasty. And that's probably the most effective way to do it. They've done stuff where you spit in a cup or they swab the inside of your cheek or whatever. But I think if Mike Trout opts out, I think we're going to see a lot of other people follow.
I think if you have more of these veterans like that, like your Trouts, Price, you're going to have some of these guys like, well, rethinking. Just like in the NBA. I mean, Kevin Durant's against it. Kyrie Irving's against it. I mean, they're talking about starting their own league.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, did you hear that I totally did not have this on the show notes, but there was a secret Sandlot game.
What?
That was organized by Max Scherzer.
Really?
Yes, they played down in Florida. There was a couple. I mean, there's like 30 players that went. I think it was Max Scherzer. Justin Verlander was there. There was quite a few. They're in Florida, and they had to keep it low key and keep it hush, because if not, they would have had like 10,000 people there.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
yeah, they found a field, and they organized a game of baseball.
Really?
Yeah, it's just kind of starting to come out.
I see the footage of that. You know what I'm so disappointed about this year? I think it was the Yankees and the White Sox were supposed to play at the field where the Field of Dreams was filmed.
I know.
And that shit ain't going to happen.
No. I think instead of the Yankees playing, I know it's the Cardinals and White Sox that are playing. But it's still going to happen.
At the field?
At the field. It's still going to happen. And I want to say it's the Cardinals and White Sox, I think. Let me see. I'm going to kind of.
I don't care who plays. That'd just be awesome to see, dude.
Yeah. I was Field of Dreams game. Here it is. So I'm looking at, yeah, it's the White Sox and the Cardinals. It's on Thursday, August 13th. So they will.
Not the Yankees no more.
No, it's not the Yankees anymore. I think that's because they're doing the whole three regions, the West, Central, and East. Right. So both teams are going to be in the Central, so it makes sense for them to play each other.
Sure.
But yeah, that game is going to happen. Baseball is going to honor Jackie Robinson. And I think towards the end of August. So they're going to have that as well, which is going to be great. So they're going to kind of, do things like the things that they had planned. But, this whole COVID-19 thing is totally thrown everything out for a loop for sure.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it's depressing when you think about it. But, I think basketball is fixing to start up. July 30th?
Mm-hmm.
They're
already practicing right now. They're in Orlando.
Yeah. We've got baseball starting up in July 23rd. Opening day is it puts the New York Yankees versus the Washington Nationals. So Garrett Cole versus Max Scherzer.
Is he going to be the number one? Hey, how long is dude got smoked in the head?
Oh, Tanaka?
Yeah, Tanaka. Is he out for a while?
He'll be out for a while for sure, but he came out.
Was he going to be their number two underneath Cole?
Yeah, number two. No, he might have been number three behind James Paxton.
Damn, what a lineup!
Yeah, so Cole, Paxton, Tanaka. Of course,
Tanaka's solid too.
Severino's out.
His head's pretty solid.
Yeah, the thing that kind of irritated me the most with that was the fact that they kept showing the video over and over again. I mean,
they've been doing that for years, though.
Yeah, a lot of people were pissed off that they kept showing it for so long. But, it was pretty nasty.
That's right.
But
that's Stanton hitting the ball. That's what it's got to be coming off that bat at least over 100 miles an hour.
100, I think it was 110. I might be exaggerating, but
Jesus,
I think 110. But yeah, he was on Twitter that night. He was out of the hospital got a
Oh,
concussion.
that's great. That's good.
So he's out now on his way to recovery. So
That's good.
we won't see him opening day or opening series, but we'll probably see him probably, I would say maybe mid-August. He'll probably be back. So
That's good. That's good. It's a shame that happened to
yeah,
him.
yeah. But these guys got to get out there and they got to practice for opening day. So, but man, that's all I got.
What do you think about Cam Newton?
Oh yeah, I called it first of all. Cam
Okay,
Newton.
you can stop patting your back. Stop patting your back. Yeah, you did call it.
But you know what? This is gonna be the telltale sign if Belichick is Belichick. If he can still pull off and win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady. He's one of the best NFL head coaches of our generation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I just want to three phases of the game. We were good on offense. Defense,
That's a pretty good impression.
the defense we did, pretty spectacular. Special teams was not up to par today, but we'll see what next Sunday brings. Belichick out.
Shit. A lot of people are saying that Belichick probably can't handle Cam, but they're not. Belichick also traded his fourth round pick to get Randy Moss.
This is true.
And they had one of the most prolific offenses in NFL history when they went almost undefeated and lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think this is going to be
and he's playing for like $1 million. I mean, that's peanuts.
Mm-hmm. On a 1-year deal.
1-year deal. He could make 7.5 if they go to the Super Bowl. And hey, right here, what's today? July 8th, 2020. Don't be surprised if Jared Stidham throws a touchdown pass to Cam Newton.
Really?
Yeah.
Do it the Patriot special? We're gonna call that.
I don't give a shit what they call it, but it's gonna happen.
Oh, another thing. Antonio Brown. I think that was one thing we wanted to touch on. Did you see that Bill O'Brien is going to trade his first and second round picks to get Antonio Brown?
It don't surprise me. He traded Hopkins for a washed-up running back.
Brown is a free agent.
Still pending charges. He's still going to serve a suspension. He violated a woman.
But
he's going to serve some type of suspension. Why would you get rid of draft pick for somebody that's going to sit out for at least 4 or 6 weeks?
But
Brian, man. What is he doing?
But he wants to. Hey, Michelob Ultra. If you want to be on sponsor of the show, please give me a call. Hey, just if they're not a sponsor of the show right now, but they're open to it. If you're seeing this on YouTube,
next time so we don't get sued.
Huh?
Let's probably put it on a cup next time so I don't get sued.
No, just want to make sure we're not a sponsor. Michelob Ultra is not a sponsor of the show.
Sponsor
if they're willing to sponsor the show, I'd be open to it, but they're not a sponsor. So just in case you're watching on YouTube, just want to throw that out there. Little disclaimer. But anyways, Bill O'Brien, he wants to trade away his first and second pick to a free agent. I don't know if that, I saw that tweet. I don't know if it's real or not, but if somebody was just being facetious, but
the Texans need to hire a goddamn general manager because Bill O'Brien is not a general manager.
No.
Sorry for the GDs.
No, it's okay. No, it's all right.
No, it's not okay. I'm sorry for that. But for real, Bill O'Brien does not need to be – he's not a general manager, man.
No.
He doesn't need to be – my goodness gracious.
Bill O'Brien getting you fired up, man. He's getting you fired up.
I don't even like the Texans. Would you get rid of Hopkins for Daryl
No.
Johnson
No.
and a pick? What are you doing here? You got rid of your best offensive player. Who is who you gonna throw to? Will Fuller? He can't even stay healthy.
That is true.
I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah, it'll be interesting this football season.
There's a reason why we're talking over the phone instead of running NFL. I mean, obviously we're.
Hey,
they get paid the money to do that. So.
Hey, I'm all for trying to be a GM. No, it's probably the most hated job ever. But hey, I won't give away our, number one receiver.
Yeah, for Daryl Johnson. Daryl Johnson. God.
Yeah. Cooter's
I don't even
nostrils
like
are
the
starting to
Texans.
flare. Yeah, you're starting to flare, dude.
Yeah. My little bitty cat whiskers I got.
Oh,
Daryl
man.
Johnson.
Oh, Daryl. Good old Daryl.
I'm like Herman.
DJ.
Practice? We're talking about practice.
Playoffs?
Or playoffs. That's what he said.
Playoffs.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah, so we got Cam Newton at quarterback now. So it's going to be exciting to see what he can do.
If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, I'm going to boycott the NFL. Dude. And they might sleep up and get Clowney on a veteran deal, just like that Cam Newton, because Clowney ain't signed to nobody yet.
That is true. But he
You
did
get
say
him on something like that? Oh, my gosh.
Well, I could see him going there too.
Yeah.
For $1 million, $2 million. I mean, I don't think he'll sign that type of deal. He kind of wants probably.
He wants about 20.
Yeah, I don't think the Patriots will pay that much.
I don't have the cap to.
Yeah.
They got like $5.
Right. So.
Anyway.
All right, man. Well, you got anything else?
Got nada.
All right. That pretty much covers everything for this episode of the Rip Griff Show with Cooter Green. Be sure to check out the episode on all the major podcast platforms and on YouTube. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Tell us how we look.
Yeah.
I may need to upgrade, get a new webcam or something because it's kind of
grainy. Or some filters or something.
Yeah, I need to get a background for the Zoom. So, but that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Cooter, it's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Next week, Next Monday. That's gonna do it for this episode, guys. We appreciate it, and we will see you later.